All right, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Ujamaa Fabric and Yarn Sale. So if you follow this channel, you know that I work for a charity called the Ujamaa. It supports the Grandmothers to Grandmothers campaign that is part of the Stephen Lewis Foundation. We help grandmothers in Africa look after their orphan grandchildren, to help provide education, medical supplies, food, counseling, anything that the people in the community think they would benefit from. That's what we support. We have many fundraisers over the year, and the money goes to this charity. So the Fabric and Yarn Sale is held in the spring of the year, and it takes donations from the community of fabric, yarn, craft materials, anything that would be in a sewing studio or a craft room, we accept as donations. Now, we get a lot of our donations through the year. Oftentimes, we get entire sewing rooms because of an estate being settled, or people downsizing, or people just deciding that they've had enough of this particular hobby, they're moving on. Or the materials they liked 10 years ago, they're not going to use anymore. And so we get donations. We also accept donations 3 days during the setup for the sale. So I'm on the Fabric and Yarn Sale Committee. So I'm part of the team that does kind of the background organizing so that we have a successful event. And part of that is publicity. And this year I had the opportunity, which was, kind of nerve-wracking at the start, but was fine. We appeared on our local TV channel, Morning News, to talk about the sale. And that was a really, really great experience to see what a TV studio is like. It was just really good. Luckily, I was with our chair of the Fabric and Yarn Sale, and together I think we did a good job. We're not television personalities, but we enjoyed the experience, and the news got out about our sale, so that's what's important. I'm going to see if I can include just a short clip here.
Popularity. We chatted about this briefly, and we're almost out of time, but we talked about this briefly about that desire to prevent fabrics and textiles from going into the dump. But why else do you think there's been such a resurgence?
Well, we have a lot of families new to Canada that are using our fabrics and our sewing machines that are available at the sale to start home businesses. We have a lot of customers who have their own small home businesses. We also have a lot of new people to hobbies, like our high school students. Mm-hmm. They're coming. They want to crochet and sew.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for coming in and for sharing some of the pieces and this great sewing machine. For more information.
Okay, so how does the sale work? Well, we rent a curling rink, and this is a big open surface that we turn into a department store. So it starts with trucks arriving from our storage homes, and we start to bring boxes in. And then our supporters start to drive up and empty their cars of everything, like fabric, yarn, sewing machines, you name it, we get it. And so we start to set up our different areas. We have quilting So I'm in the quilting area. We have home decor, fabric, and we have yarn, books and patterns. We have hard goods, which are sewing machines, hoops, like large quilt hoops, quilt stands. And then we have crafts, notions, and then specialty items, which can be like we had silk saris, we had leather pieces, fine wools. This is also where we put our quilt kits that were over $100. Yeah, so a really boutique area for all things handcrafts. So in my area that we were at, we had all kinds of volunteers come in, measuring fabric, rolling fabric, arranging it onto shelves. We're going along good. And then I wake up one morning and I have to wait for the plow before I can get in to continue to help with the setup. Now, luckily, the city of Calgary didn't have near the snow that we had out in the foothills. So we continued on. We did have the secret bid or sealed bid auction for the beautiful featherweight. It was lovely. Prior to our sale, people who know me know that I'm collecting, and so I get calls daily almost that they have something they want to donate. And we're so fortunate that one of my neighbors donated this machine, and it was beautiful. 1949 featherweight. It was great, and it really brought a beautiful bid, and what is going to an amazing person. So that was all good. So we have 3 days of sale. Friday is the big day. That's the day where people make sure that they've got their Eventbrite tickets so they can be there bright and early and get the best stuff, which for some of them that's true. But when you have that much product, it takes days just to get to all the boxes. And so never fear if you can't be there the first day. And if you want more information about the sale, go to the City Stitcher. Judy also worked at the sale this year, and she talks about one of the things she found in her own area that she was working in on like the last day. And it was one of these treasured items that she had been wanting to get for years. And so, you know what? Archaeological dig. We just keep taking the layers off, and you never know what you're going to find. So, like I said, we have these 3 days of sale, and then what happens to what's left over? Well, this year we had over 30 groups come in, charities, community groups. What is required is sort of evidence that what they're making is benefiting either our local community, Canadian charities, or charities that help other places in the world. And so, for example, we had someone from Basically Babies come. They help mothers who are in extreme need provide a 1-year layette for their babies. We had little dresses for Africa. So this group makes little cotton dresses for children in Africa. We have quilts of valor. So these are quilts that are given to our service people, military service. We have quilts for everyday heroes, which is for, EMS, firefighters, police, people like that. And then at the end, Morphous Theater. So we have community groups that might be putting on productions that need costuming. And then Sunday, after those people have taken everything that they want, we limit the beginning part so that it's kind of a fair start. But at the end, it's like if you can take it and use it, please take it. And then the final day on the Monday, so we've been at this for a full week, we have 2 charities that come in. One is called World Serve, and the other one is called Win, Women in Need, and they come and take the remaining boxes to use in their charity shops. By the end, the building is empty. So in a week, we start with an empty building and we end with an empty building. And all of the product that has been donated has been carefully recycled. We have bags of fabrics and yarns that go to textile recycling, and then the rest go to good homes. So it really is, it's a wonderful event. It helps people in Africa, but it also helps people in our area as well. So, what treasures did I find? So, I worked in the quilt area, and I actually only picked up during the sale. I'll show you something else that I picked up later, but that was in a pre-sort. So during the sale, I found this little kit that had kind of been put together by a maker, and they wanted to make this pink Christmas tree. Well, I think that will be a perfect quilt for me. And what was also included were like a collection of fabrics, and then another charm pack of Christmas fabric. So with those and with some other fabrics I have, I'm going to make that quilt. That would be great. So when I'm at the sale, I always go to crafts because I'm always looking for needlework things. And I always go to the hoops because they'll have hardwood hoops that I'll use for framing. And so I found just this small one. And then I found this one as well. This is a beautiful, beautiful frame, a hoop. Love that. So those will frame projects. And then this was in quilting, in Notions, our quilt Notions. And this is a proportional scale. So a lot of times I take small patterns for applique and quilting and I want to enlarge them. Well, this proportional square shows me what printer setting I'll need on my printer to get the correct proportion. Say to enlarge something, 3-4 times. This will help me with that. All right, so if you watch Judy at the City Stitcher, you know that she made a collection of needlework pieces from the Rotary. So the Rotary is a community organization that supports us in our sale. Their people drive the trucks that pick up all of our boxes from the charity houses, the donation houses. And they also have their own fundraiser that is called Second Chance Art Sale. So basically people in the area donate art that they no longer want in their homes, and it's sold. And they have their sale in a skating rink. Like that's what we use in Alberta in the spring. They take the ice out at the end of April and we move in with all of our charities. So Judy went during the setup for this sale in the weeks prior to and went through the needlework pieces that they did not think they would be able to sell. And I bought 2 of them that Judy had selected. We did a little FaceTime at the event. And I mean, she didn't put it aside for me, but it was there when I wanted it. So I love this. Beautiful little piece. I mean, it's going to hang probably right there. It's lovely. And then, sorry, I've got a runny nose here. This vintage piece. So, you know, when you live in the foothills, you always want a picture of mountains. And I love this frame. Now, I am going to have to take it apart and just fit this matting in. Now, this matting is wood matting. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually wood pieces. So I'm going to take it apart. I'll re-glue it, and I'm going to insert a picture here of how I'm going to display it. So the pictures are Rundle Mountain in Banff National Park, which is just, you know, a couple hours drive from here. And, you know, like my family has gone to Banff for years, and Rundle Mountain has always held a special place. When I was a teenager, I worked on Tunnel Mountain, which, you know, sort of overlooks Rundle, and I did a lot of hiking and canoeing and those good things in Banff. So it's going to add to my mountain collection. Now, prior to the sale, this piece came in. And during a pre-sort, I purchased this one. And again, you know, it was professionally framed years ago, before we ever used the sort of area code. Yeah, it's interesting. And then I found this beautiful piece. I just love it. This little sewing caddy. Love it. And it feels like, you know, you just can carry it from place to place as you know, do your stitching. And I often, you know, will do my hand stitching for quilting up in where I do my cross stitch. So, and now for my very favorite piece. This, I just love this. So, this is a little pin cushion that was in Notions. And the top lifts off, and there's a mirror in it. And inside, now I only just discovered that there was this little, I don't know if it's a nail file. It's a file of some kind, but I don't know just what it was for. That was in there. And then all these little threads. And then what I love about it is the bottom, LC 1936. So a beautiful little pin cushion, 87 years old. I love it. I'm not sure where I'll display it, but it's definitely a sweet little piece. So you just never know what you're going to find at the Fabric and Yarn sale. All right. So if you ever have the chance to visit Calgary, Alberta in the springtime, be sure you join us at the Fabric and Yarn sale. So how did we do? We did amazing. We had the most successful year ever, both, I think, organization-wise, customer-wise, and money. This 3-day event, we raised $142,000. So, And then what we gave back to the community as well was probably another $20,000-$30,000, I would say, in fabric and yarn and sewing machines, and it was great.